What's good, everybody? Happy Wednesday to everyone. So good to see y'all, Buckeye School family in the chat, Buckeye Nation out there. Do me a favor, hit that like button, and then follow up and hit that subscribe button, and then hit the bell notification so you get notified whenever we go live. And then also, for those who don't always do YouTube, hit us up on Apple for the Apple folks. Save us, like us, download us. For the non-Apple people like me, Spreaker.com, do the same there. Cover all the bases. All right. We're going to be talking about DGG again today. Still buzzing, things still happening. Fresh off of 2 visits, he still has a couple more visits. We got some quotes and, some stuff to talk about. So can't wait to get into it. Also, remember, when you send those wonderful super chats, helps to go towards the pay it forward, which is our military and our first responders. We're going to look out for them because they always look out for us. Nevada Buck, what's up, sir? Good to see you.
Well, it's good to see you too, B. We had a 24-hour of no B Moses, man, and a lot of sad faces around here. I'm saying that a lot of people were sad. A lot of people had a little
They
hashtag
miss me.
for B. We had a little vigil for you and everything like that. So I just want we're glad that you're back.
Man, they's like, man, yes, man, that clown is not here for a day. Let's celebrate. No. But it's all good. Now, definitely miss being here, when I'm not, even if it's just for a day, connecting with y'all. But yeah, man, it's all good. I'm here. I am back. So definitely this is our favorite guy, Nevada, DGG. And there's so much news and notes and buzz and articles and predictions and everything all over the place, Nevada. And we're going to talk about it a little bit. I'm going to read some quotes off and we're just going to, dive into some things with DGG, man, because this is going to be a journey. He decides on July 22nd. He still has the Ole Miss visit and the Georgia visit. So we're going to get the same old hyped up everything. It's just on replay. So, Nevada, before we get into it, what's your thoughts on DGG right now and all of the happenings and talk around him, his visit to Tennessee?
Well, what I can say is, one of my best sources is very close to the recruitment of DGG, and what he's saying is that nothing's changed. He's saying that the level of contact, the type of contact, the types of conversations they're having are the same post Tennessee visit as they were pre Tennessee visit, and before the Tennessee visit, they Ohio State felt they were in a commanding position. Obviously, David had set the commitment date, which you don't typically do unless you've made your decision,
Right.
because there was no reason for him to do that. There's absolutely no reason for him to do it. But he's got the date in mind. Ohio State feels like they've kind of got this well in hand, and they don't feel like the NIL stuff has gotten so crazy that it's pushed Ohio State out, because Ohio State's been pushed out of some recruitments in the past by the NIL monster, but this is not one of them. They still feel like things are proceeding just the way that they should. They like where they're at. They feel like they're answering every particular objection. And obviously, we'll all worry until July 22nd, and then we'll all worry until signing day, and then we'll all worry until he shows up. But Ohio State feels like they've got this well in hand, and that's coming from somebody as close to the recruitment as you possibly could be.
Yep. And of course, it's been a war, a banter war on social media, especially X, between Ohio State and Tennessee fans. It's been quite a spectacle, hilarious. But there was some recent quotes I'm gonna read that came out after the Tennessee visit. This is from the brother his name is Gene Aganor. He's married to the wife's sister. So he's kind of running point on this. And so here's some quotes about the visit. So basically, he starts off, Tennessee is in a good position right now, he said. A lot of that comes from how comfortable David feels there. He has teammates from Baylor on the roster as well as fellow Canadians from Quebec. Okay. And so, listen, the recent quotes, he's saying good stuff about Tennessee, as he should. Okay. He also said they knocked the visit out of the park, as they should. This kind of goes back to what Nevada has said. Who doesn't give a great official visit, right? A big time program should always give a great official visit. So the fact that Tennessee put on a great visit and brought in Alvin Kamara and pulled out all the stops, and he was like, "Man, this is a great visit." Cool, bet. That's what you're supposed to do. But one thing in this guy's quotes, he always circles back to, but this or that is not the reason he'll choose. But that or this is not the reason he'll choose. He said that after the Alvin Kamara stuff, how great that was to connect with him, but that's not the reason. All right. So about Ohio State, this is a recent quote after the Tennessee visit, and this is why we titled this video David Gabriel George is locked in on LOCKLYN. You like that wordplay? That's why I'm a rapper. Anyway, quote, at Ohio State, it was an emotional one. He's been talking with Coach LOCKLYN for a very long time. He was first to offer him when he was still in Canada. We have nothing but respect for him. Great man. He's a family friend right now. A family friend. Ohio State is my favorite team, but I told David it's not about who I grew up with rooting for. So, two powerful things there. The relationship with Coach LOCKLYN. He's a day one cat. He's been in this for a minute, okay? And he just happens to coach at The Ohio State University right now. He got that Black O to lean on. And, of course, this gentleman with the quote is a Buckeye fan. So, very professional. The quotes are great. He's going to say stuff. He's going to say great stuff about Ole Miss and Georgia. But honestly, I think the relationship and the emotional pull, as he mentioned, and what the Ohio State University brings to the table in general will just win the day. Ohio State still feels like they're in the lead and they got this. So, and he's just going through the process, Nevada, which is cool. Go through the process, take your visits. But Nevada, any thoughts on these quotes?
Well, yeah, and I thought that they were, very articulate and very, well laid out. And I mean, as you said, when you go to Tennessee, you're going to have a great visit. There's no reason to bag on Tennessee for anything, even for that
Right.
cringy catwalk fashion show thing they made him do, where it looked like a hostage situation. But other than that, you're going to say nice things because you live, I mean, David's there. He's going to school. Bailey, he's got teammates that are on the team, and why say anything bad about someone who's just trying to, recruit you there? But yeah, at the end of the day, he's going to have to disappoint somebody, and are you going to disappoint, and are you going to say no to Ohio State when you've got the history, the development path, the team? I mean, just everything about Ohio State is just a level above Tennessee, and it just is. And even Tennessee will tell you that Ohio State is a level above Tennessee. So, are you going to
Yeah.
settle for second best in terms of doing it? Ohio State doesn't think so. They don't. You get a thing in terms of the types of kids, and this is not the type of kid they miss on, so they feel good about it. But it's recruiting in 2026, and obviously there's lots of factors that didn't used to be there. So you're always going to have a little bit of angst, a little bit of nervousness, and so I understand that on the part of the fan base. But I can tell you from Ohio State's perspective, they feel like they got this one well in hand.
So let me ask you another question. Tennessee fans are leaning on, well, you guys just want him. We need him more. So it's funny with their arguments and their logic, because that's one thing they're trying to say is, well, you're Ohio State and you don't need him. We need him. You just want him. What do you say to all the Tennessee fans who are making that argument out there?
Well, I mean, I don't really understand that. It's kind of a distinction without a difference. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
of course, you're at Ohio State. I mean, nobody is a must get at Ohio State. What I mean? Let's face it. It doesn't matter. Whether we get him or not, we're going to continue to play great football in terms of. But that just goes for everybody. That's just kind of baked into the cake. That's why you go to Ohio State, because nobody is so dependent on that it's all about you. It's about the team. It's about your teammates. It's about the guys that are practicing against you. It's about the guys that are practicing with you. That's part of the reason why you get better by going to Ohio State is that type of a competitive environment. And if you just go to an environment where it'd be like you be if you went to a basketball team and you were the best player on the team by far. You're the big dog, right? Is
Hmm.
it that's cool that you're the big dog, but does that make you better? You know what I'm saying? Does that make you the best you can be? Yeah,
Right.
maybe not. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the best B Moses is one playing on a team with a lot of great players where you have to raise your level of game and do all these little things. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Yeah.
I just look at it as, if you want the competitive journey of playing against the best, against practicing against the best, about going to a place that is unquestioned. This is not opinion. It's not there's all the subjectivity of the greatness of Ohio State has been taken out by the NFL draft. When you have
Yeah.
24 players taken in 2 years, you're the best. That's just a period end. You're the best. And if he wants to play in a situation where he's playing with the best, he's practicing against the best, he's going up against at the highest level of football, then he'll make the decision that we all believe that he's going to. And so I think the Tennessee thing is kind of a self own when you're like, well, we need him. It's kind of like saying, like, dude, we don't have the type of people to surround you to make you better. The old, iron
Right.
sharpens iron type of thing. So I don't think that's the type of development situation that DDG is looking for. And I don't think that's ultimately why he's going to choose. And I think ultimately that's it's one more of the reasons why he's going to choose Ohio State.
Yep. I agree. That's well said. Nevada, they they talk. They a lot of them.
Heisman's and everything else that they've got, ringing the stadium. But look, I think this has been the type of recruitment that I mean, Ohio State loves kids like this. They're kids that aren't all about the NIL, that have a great family structure surrounding them, that are asking the right questions, that are doing the right things, that are going through the recruitment in a thoughtful process. That's what Ohio State likes. And I just am having done this for so many years. Ohio State just doesn't miss that often on kids like this. Not that it's unmissable, but they just don't miss that often. And typically in a situation, the kids make the right decision, and there might be some back and forth and whatever. But at the end of the day, this is the type of kid that Ohio State gets. And again, reason number 104 why I think he's going to be a Buckeye.
Yep, I agree. That's the key thing. This is the type of kid Ohio State gets. And so, Tennessee fans, you throwing out pictures of David Sanders smiling and Alvin Kamara, like, and oh
Can we
well,
talk about David Sanders just for a second? Because
yes,
we had this
yes,
discussion on the
please.
board. Okay, David Sanders, like who was David Sanders gonna like? There was this big discussion about, oh, what a miss, David Sanders. Who was he gonna play over? Who did you watch David Sanders play last year?
I
Okay,
really didn't watch
he
him.
he wasn't great. Okay, now I'm not saying he can't be a great player in the future or whatever it is,
Yeah,
but the idea that he's in any way, shape, or form objectively better than Austin Seyerveld or Philip Daniels or Ian
yeah,
Moore, like, no. And if you sign that kid for $2 million, one or more of those guys are all out the door. They all
yeah.
leave.
True.
So the whole David Sanders thing. I'm just I'm always looking at what are the impacts on, because these are not isolated incidents. When somebody comes in, somebody else leaves. When one door opens, another door. I mean, that's just the way that it works. So you've got to look at that when all these kids. It's kind of like on the DGG thing. I mean, Ohio State closed the door on Hyder because they're going after DGG. Now we'll see if
Yeah,
they're right or not. We'll see if they made the right decision on Sanders. They closed the door on Sanders. They weren't going to pay him $2 million because it was going to screw up everything in their offensive line room. And who's he better than? I
right.
just I just don't see it. So whenever I hear that thing, Brad, I always kind of ask him like, now who exactly is he better than? And I can't really get a straight answer. Oh, because he was ranked higher in high school than Austin Seyerveld.
Yeah,
Like,
bro. That's
spare me some of that, man.
yeah. No, and I saw. I saw the thread, and I saw one poster. I can't remember who said it, but they were talking about well, our tackles were getting manhandled last year against Miami, Indiana, as if, oh, we should have had David Sanders out there, and I'm just like, huh? Like I
And he wouldn't have got manhandled. You know what I'm saying? Like, really?
right. I was thinking
Come
the
on,
same thing.
man.
Like, is that your logic? That if we get David Sanders last year and overpay him, he steps in and beats Bain and Messador? Is that your logic, sir?
I
Like,
mean,
come
come
on.
on. Yeah.
So it's just, listen, I get it. We want all the guys. We want every 5-star, but let's just think it through. So with that said, you are correct. As much as our line struggled in those last 2 games, David Sanders wasn't fixing that. In fact, it was probably going to be worse, most likely. So
Well, yeah. I mean, David Sanders is the answer. Like, oh, if we only had David Sanders, it's like the mighty Casey. If only Sanders had come up to bat, like, guys,
Casey
what
up
are
the
you guys
bat.
saying? What are you guys saying?
Yeah,
David
yeah,
Sanders is going to solve the issues. Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
It doesn't. But again, listen, we're fans. We get goofy with this recruiting stuff, man. We get attached, connected. When I say we, I mean the collective we, because I've been doing this too long, and I want DGG badly, but man, I'm like Nevada, bro. We've seen this, done this. The guys we've lost, we've been more than fine. The sky has not fallen, and we have woken up with the sun shining the next morning. So I'm not Mr. Oh my God, I'm spazzing out if we don't get a guy. Like, nah, I might be salty for a moment, like, dang, I really wanted that kid. But moving on. So anyway, yeah. Real quick, shout out to Mr. Ohio on Twitter. He posted this. He said, my timeline right now, and it shows the big dog, Ohio State, and then a little, yep, Tennessee dog, thinking he about to do something, which I thought was brilliant. Shout out to you, Mr. Ohio, for sure. Then I wanted to also show y'all mentioned this. I caught up with y'all show last night. Nevada, great job per usual. Love you guys holding it down. Let me show you what Nevada was talking about in his intro yesterday with Dev. Okay. So let me tell you, because Dev, matter of fact, hold on. Matter of fact,
Dev is catching strays right now. He is
catching
catching
mad
strays.
strays. Matter of fact, let me do this first. Let me set this up properly. Okay, let me pull up the tweet that did it. Let me pull up the tweet that triggered Tennessee fans. Hold on now. Here we go. Here we go. Loading. Boom. Here's the tweet from Dev. Regarding 5-star running back DGG, a source indicated, quote, Tennessee is throwing everything at him, even more than they originally planned, because that's what they do. They don't have a choice. The bar was set extremely high by the Buckeyes. DGG will be a Buckeye. I could just see the Tennessee fans. Paul, do you hear that, Paul? Like that just touched their soul. So let me show you one of the, because look, my dude, shout out to my dude Mike Patterson. He goes to different boards and just, you know how Message Board Genius will find like crazy posts on message boards. My dude Mike, he like, let me go to this Tennessee board and see what these boys talking about. And he was like, hey, B, he was like, they talking about your boy Devin. And he sent me the screenshots, and I was weak. They were salty. I'm about to pull up this one that really got me going. All right. This is what Nevada was talking about yesterday. So you can imagine the Tennessee fan right there just angry as I'm reading this. They showed a picture of Devin on the board. It said, that picture screams, I live in the same room I grew up in and do whatever I want playing video games, drinking Mountain Dew, and eating Cheetos, so long as my mom says it's okay. I do my podcast recording during the evening because I get off my Jimmy John's shift at 7. My idols are Pat 40 and the Mississippi State fan, Brandon guy at Barstool. That was random. I dye my beard and shave it to look like Ryan Day. I even got my nipples pierced like him and have a picture of his face tattooed on my left AZZ cheek, across from the I Hate Michigan and the Buckeye weed leaf on my right one. Boy, oh boy, he took his time on that one, Nevada, to just go, I guess, Tennessee scorched earth on Devin. What do you think about that, Nevada? Have you seen that full write-up before today?
Yeah, no, yeah, poor Dev, man. Dev, they're I'm like
Oh,
when
man.
when the Tennessee fans were making fun of. I think Devin's a very handsome guy. I don't know. They're making fun of Devin's looks,
Look
man.
at that
Especially
smile. Look at that
these
smile.
these Tennessee hillbillies making fun of him. We had our own little Ryan Day there, little bearded Ryan Day and everything like that. No, yeah, no, I think it's funny. I think the Tennessee fans are though like they are like that little yapping chihuahua. We're gonna take your goalposts and throw them in the river. We're gonna take all your. We got David Sanders. He solved all of our problems.
Oh, man. And then,
Uh,
and then, of course, here comes Sports Talk Jay to save the day. No, don't get him. That's our guy, man. He is y'all saving grace, man. That dude is. I love Sports Talk Jay. You can't tell me nothing about that brother. Tennessee fan. He's the GOAT. But man, the rest of y'all, good Lord. I'm just saying. But it's been fun. And again, shout out to Ohio State football DG on Twitter again. He's been another one really getting after Tennessee fans and ruffling their feathers. But shout out to our guy Dev for making their message board and just, just producing some good content and fodder. Great stuff. So we'll get to super chats in a second. There was one other thing I wanted to take a look at. Oh, this is random and off topic, but still makes sense, Nevada. I'm getting excited, bro. I know I just lost you for a second. Let me put this on the screen, and I'll get Nevada back in a second. Nevada, you back?
I am back.
I'm getting excited. This popped up on my timeline. This game, like it just looking at the helmets, and they show pictures of the Coliseum. And listen, I'm a Buckeye fan. I love our fight song. I love, nothing touches Buckeye tradition. But I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna enjoy hearing those, their little song they play, the Trojan song that they play, and it's just college football, man. And the Coliseum. I'm
You want
excited.
to say it. You want to say USC Song Girls. You want to say it. You want to say
You
it
said
so
UFC
bad.
so
You want to say it so
I
bad.
promise you I wouldn't think about that. But they are top
You
five.
want to
They are top
want to
five.
say it so bad, but you're just not going to do it. You're just such a good man. You are such a good. You're like right there. You want to go. Oh, the Song Girls. Okay, the Song Girls. But you
like
don't do
uh
it.
like like Austin Powers when he kept trying to not say mole, moly, moly,
Song
moly,
Girls.
holy.
Song Girls. Song Girls.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
Song Girls.
I mean, look. I admit that's fire. But USC, Oregon, they're top five with all that. I'll agree. But yes, man, USC, Ohio State, and again Nevada, and everyone out there. This is still Nevada. I know you're used to USC. You were out west for a while, but it's still wacky to me. It's insane to me that we're playing USC in the regular season, bro. Now, this is the first time we've played them since the expansion, right? So it's still hitting me like, man, USC is in the Big Ten. I'm just used to Rose Bowls against them growing up, right? It's crazy.
No, this is gonna be great, and we're gonna have a great time, and we're gonna have a great meal. We're gonna have a great meal when you're going out there,
Yeah.
and now I'm so excited. I'm so excited, and the Ohio State seats. I know USC is not doing us any favors. We're probably gonna be sitting in the nosebleed. And let me tell you, at the Coliseum, there are some nosebleed seats, man. So, but we'll be together. We'll all be together.
Listen, man. Look. You talking to C Deck Danny over here. Like I don't, I don't care. Honestly, in Ohio Stadium, I prefer, like, I'm not saying like the nosiest of nosebleeds, but I actually would prefer certain 50-yard line lower C deck seats over some of the B deck seats, depending on the angle. Like, real talk, I like to see the whole field, like, because I like to see routes develop. I like to see coverages. So I don't care, bro. We're gonna be in the house. I
Oh, B,
don't
when
care.
I told you about the tickets, your first question was, "Will we be able to see the Song Girls?" You asked that question like, "Will we be able to see the Song Girls?" I'm like, B, just bring binoculars, all right? Would you just bring binoculars?
Now I just thought about
Dun, dun,
another
dun, dun,
movie.
dun, 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 dun.
Jackie Chan with the binoculars with and Chris Tucker in Rush Hour, and he was looking at old girl. Like, I like Snoopy too, man. Anyway, anyway. But no, that's funny. He said it's the Salt Girls. We won't be able to see the Salt Girls. Can you bring binoc? I guess you can bring
Yeah, you
binoculars
can
in.
bring you got it on your phone. Don't you have like a binocular app on your phone or something like that?
No, who has a binocular app? Does that
That
exist?
I think that's got to be a something. If it doesn't, B, let's do it, man. Let's
Hey,
do it.
listen, if a binocular app exists, somebody put it in the chat. I ain't never heard of that.
That
Like,
that I mean that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
I guess it
That's
does
a
because your
genius. It's
camera
a
settings,
genius. Yeah, it's a genius
your camera,
idea.
yeah. I think it would make sense because your camera settings zoom in anyway, so we'll
Yeah,
just use that.
exactly. Yeah,
So anyway,
just
but no,
to see the song. To see the song.
so here's the question: in Cali in October, late October, is it going to be 70s, 50s?
I mean, it's yeah, it could be either one of those. It could be either one. Maybe light sweater. Maybe it's like
Okay,
like you bring the hoodie and you just tie it around your waist or something like that type of thing. If it's a night
okay,
game. Yeah,
yeah. Because I'm wondering, like, okay, I've never been out in Cali
yeah.
during that time to kind of know, you know, because I know if it was in Columbus, I'll be hoodied up and
Oh yeah, dude. You'd be wearing that
everything,
polar fleece and everything else like that.
toboggan, all that. So, so anyway, either way, I will adjust, and I'm excited, man. I just wanted to
Can,
say that I'm excited.
can I jump on a couple different topics?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
My
Yeah,
mind's going because this is kind of a hodgepodge show tonight. But we're
yeah,
talking about players we lost. Like the old, we lost this player. What are we gonna do? Like, okay, Bijan Robinson, right?
yeah,
Bijan Robinson, great player, right? Great
yeah.
player. Okay, Bijan Robinson played 3 years in college, 20, 21, 22. Okay, you know who our leading rusher was in 20?
That was the transfer.
Trey Sermon.
Trey Sermon. Yep, Trey Sermon.
Okay. Who set the all-time record at
Yeah,
Ohio State. You know what I'm saying? So like we did okay that year in 20.
right,
You know
right.
what I'm saying? Like it's hard to do better than the best that's ever done it at Ohio State in terms of
Yeah,
Trey Sermon, in terms of it run. 21, 22, Trevion Henderson.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like no matter even on a guy as good as Bijan Robinson, like
yeah.
we're okay. You know what I'm saying? Like it's okay.
That's a great call out. And I saw that too in the thread about where somebody invoked Bijan Robinson. And I'm thinking like, yeah, that sucked because I remember the recruitment. He's silent committed to Ohio State. He was coming to
Yeah.
Ohio State, but those grandparents wasn't having
Yeah,
it.
no, that was a weird one, and he's turned out to be. I mean, obviously a terrific college player, terrific pro, great guy. I mean, all the. But the point is, we're just fine. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like we somehow managed to go by with with Trey Sermon rushing for how many yards he rushed for in that
That
Northwestern game. I mean,
Northwestern game, over 300, wasn't it?
yeah,
I'm
and that
about
was
to
a
look it
big
up.
game. That was a game we needed too. That wasn't like
Yep.
some meaningless game in the middle. That was the freaking Big Ten championship game. And I mean, he was unbelievable. And then he goes into the national semifinal and runs it back with another like 270 in that. I mean, so we did just fine.
331 yards and two
Yeah.
touchdowns on 29 carries.
Yeah.
I
I mean, like,
mean,
I mean, so so for
yeah,
all that the thing, it just that's my first point. Second point, we had another thread thing, and I want your opinion on this because this is more subjective, but I want your
okay,
subjective opinion. It was a question about quarterbacks at Ohio State, the best quarterbacks ever at Ohio State. And the
yeah,
question was one of the posters put out there that they thought that Dwayne Haskins was a better quarterback than Troy Smith at Ohio State. And
okay.
I just found that preposterous. I just found that like I mean, I don't think CJ Stroud was better than Troy Smith at Ohio State. And my argument for that is a big part of it, well, predicated on one, he won the Heisman.
Yep.
Two, he played in the covered wagon era of Ohio State
Yep.
football. So you cannot
Yep.
compare stats. I mean, this is
Yep.
Jim Tressel as his coach with freaking
Bowman.
Bowman was the offensive coordinator.
Yep.
So don't give me the stat argument because he was playing with both hands tied behind his back.
Yes.
And he went 3-0 against Michigan. And he went 3-0 again. And that first year, that sophomore year, we were big underdogs, like
Oh,
big time.
yes.
Like
2004.
yeah,
Yes.
big time, multiple touchdown underdogs. And then the 05 game, obviously the great comeback. And then the 06, maybe the biggest game in the history of the shoe, 1-2.
Yeah.
I mean, so, and he won all three of those games. So, and for somebody to say that Dwayne Haskins was a better college quarterback than Troy Smith, I was like, holy bad take, Batman. That just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So before I go into my spiel, did this person give their criteria or the reasoning behind their choice?
He said that Troy Smith was the most overrated player in the history of Ohio State football because he played on such a loaded roster that it was just he was in the rocking chair. No, literally, this is what was written, and I'm thinking, man, you shouldn't be drinking this early in the day, man. Because, like
Oh my goodness.
that just seemed crazy. Literally, most overrated player in the history of Ohio State.
Yeah, that's insane. And it's funny this was brought up because there was a recent post that was circulating around social media that had a list of all the Ohio State quarterbacks. And I was talking about this recently. And Troy Smith is absolutely the greatest Ohio State quarterback. Like, not only, let me add on to what you said, Nevada. Not only, because there's a lot of things that come along with playing quarterback. You could argue Haskins maybe threw a prettier ball than Troy Smith. Maybe he was slightly more accurate. Maybe. But to play quarterback at Ohio State, it's not just, and I love Dwayne Haskins. I don't think he gets enough credit for what he did here in the short time he was here. Shout out to Dwayne and RIP to Dwayne. But this is Troy Smith we're talking about. Not only, listen, he came in here as an athlete and was a kick returner and worked his way up to the starting quarterback position and a Heisman Trophy winner. Not only could he throw the rock crazy and was accurate, he took command and ran the ball when he needed to. And when he ran, he was tough, shifty, physical, faster than you think. He made clutch plays. That video that Funky posted of the 2005 game at the Big Blouse when Gonzalez makes the crazy catch, that drive was so Troy Smith, Nevada. He was cool, calm, collected. The spin move he did on, I forget which Michigan idiot thought they was going to tackle him, and he spun inside and threw it down to Gonzalez.
Yeah,
no,
Birch.
It was who?
Yep.
Birch.
Birch, yep.
Yep. I mean, like, Troy, go back and watch Troy Smith. Okay, I know he wasn't a great pro. I know things didn't work out. In college, this dude was the complete quarterback at Ohio State. He did it all. Passing, running, he was clutch. He was smart. He was tough. Like, come on, man. Y'all tripping. No, Haskins is not better than Troy Smith. And no, CJ Stroud is not. And I love CJ. I feel bad for CJ to this day because he had to deal with the cheating era. He was in the thick of the cheating era. But Troy Smith, and you're right, Jim Bowman, aka the Walrus, for those who don't know, for you youngins, you know that shirt I wear, the Tecmo Bowl shirt? That was our playbook. It was Dave, which was a dive play. And it was play action to the tight end. I mean, I'm going to stop there, Nevada. But, yeah, y'all bugging on that one.
Well, and Troy, to your point, I mean, Troy not only he gets drafted or brought in as an athlete, the last player in the recruiting class, literally the last player in the recruiting class, gets brought in, and he's brought in at the same time as Justin Zwick, who is the golden boy of Ohio high school football. Like nobody, 5-star, higher rated, all-time leading passer, blah, 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 blah. And so the idea that this guy who was returning kicks his freshman year comes in and replaces the golden boy takes them, wins the job in an era where it was hard to do this because our offense was so antiquated. He was such a bolt of energy to a team, and he just took the team on his back and just willed them to victory. And you talked about Funky had posted the highlights of the '05 game, and obviously I had watched the '05 game live, but I watched the game over again today, and I'm like, I had that sick feeling, that sick feeling when you feel like you're going to lose, even though
Yes.
you're going to win. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I'm looking at him kind of going, there's 7 minutes and 40 seconds to go, and we're down 9 points. We're not going to win this game.
Right.
Like,
Right.
like what in the world is going on? And then he hits Santonio Holmes and he dives in the end zone, and the ref throws the flag.
Terrible call. That was a
Terrible
terrible
call.
call.
Oh my God.
Yes.
And it was the
Yes.
same ref who threw 2 pass interference calls, both one on third down, one on fourth down in the end zone to give Michigan their scores. And it was like, it was brutal. It was and I had forgotten how bad it was until I watched it. But yeah, now Troy Smith, and to hear, Troy Smith is the most overrated player in Ohio State history, I was like, man, am I tripping or what? Because I could not disagree with that statement more.
So what thread is that on? Because I might need to report to that thread immediately after this podcast.
It was an unstick thread. It was at the top of the unstick threads. I'm not sure which one it
Yeah.
was. I'll have to
All
check
right.
it out. I've got a dog fight
Okay.
going on right now. I got 2 dogs going at it right now. And I just had to separate them. Two Chewinis for fighting right now. So
Wow, that's hilarious.
oh yeah.
And I see the post. I see it's Funky's post. Just watch the 2005
Oh,
scum
okay.
game.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to it later. But come on, y'all. Do y'all just be trolling? Do y'all just be saying stuff just to really just get after? I mean, come on, man. Or maybe they're younger and they just didn't really
Nah,
in
that
like
guy
nope.
Armos, he's an old guy. He's been around for a
Oh,
long
he's another
time.
guy. No,
Yeah,
I try to extend an olive branch. I don't know
yeah.
what to say.
No, they
I
were
don't know what
just
to say.
that's just a bad thing, man. That's just a bad because look, because we had some, obviously. I mean, you have Santonio Holmes, you have Ted Ginn, but I mean, those guys weren't those guys without Troy Smith. I mean, Troy Smith
Right.
took that on his back and he just drilled the ball right into their stomach and marched us down the field.
Yep. Nah, but that Santonio Holmes dive into the end zone, that really irked my nerves because there were Michigan players right by him and they just trigger happy, just called that flag. I'm just like, what are y'all doing? But anyway, it doesn't matter. We won. Pittman gets in and scores and breaks their hearts once again. But real quick before we move on, we got some super chats. That 2004 game, if y'all want to go back and watch that 2004 game, was peak Ted Ginn, and Troy Smith was a magician. We were at home. We had 4 losses that year. We lost to Iowa. We lost to, I believe we lost. Did we lose to Indiana? Not Indiana. We lost 4 games that year. 4 games. Imagine that. I know some of y'all spoiled. Y'all can't even imagine that. We lost 4 games. But go watch that game at the shoe. It was magical. So anyway, let's go ahead and get to these super chats. We got them stacking up. Stilly Matt, thanks for the 199. The B Moses 691 4th and Porterhouse Buck. You know, it's funny. I haven't had a porterhouse. We talked about cuts of steak the other night. I haven't had a porterhouse in years, Nevada. I've been so ribeye and New York strip and even the filet that I kind of forgot about the porterhouse.
Yeah, the porterhouse is it's I mean that's got a couple of great cuts on it and up, but I'm gonna get you the prime New York strip. I think I'm gonna put my best foot forward when we go to our steakhouse. I'm gonna go prime New York strip. And to answer your question, the 2004 team lost to Northwestern,
Yes, at
Wisconsin,
Northwestern. Yes,
Iowa, and Purdue.
bro. Wow. Yeah, I remember. I remember. But you know that team ended up bouncing back and going on a heck of a run. Came up short in 06, but man, yeah, that was a nice squad. But it was Tressel led, conservative
Oh man.
until until 06, where we opened it up a little more for Tressel, but it still wasn't Urban or Ryan Day opening it up. You know what I'm saying? We still were conservative, but it was more spread, more 4 or 5, wide receivers and stuff like that. But anyway, Anyway, good stuff. All right. Stilly Matt, shout out Oliver Wendell. Buckeye Scoop loves you. Yep. Shout out Oliver Wendell for sure. Nevada.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the situation. What's going on with Oliver Wendell?
Yeah, me either, but shout out to Oliver.
Whatever it is,
Regardless.
we're here for you, and it's so great that Steely Matt is keeping it real out there and calling people out, and anything that we can do, let us know, man.
Absolutely. All right. We got our guy. Roll Tide for life. Thanks for the 10. B Moses, you're an amazing show host. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Always show love. Then he says, I'm very glad I found this YouTube channel after my dad passed away recently. You guys show me a lot of love when my heart was crushed losing my pops. Thank you, man. That's just, man, that's amazing. Again, we've said this before. Say it again. Condolences, man. Condolences. Losing a parent, losing a loved one at all is tough, but losing a parent, I know is tough. But it's just crazy how things work. You're a Bama fan, and you said you found this channel, an Ohio State channel, and you've been able to connect. I mean, this brother's in the chat like, hey, like the video. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, he's leading the charge. It's just funny. College football can bring people together, and especially going much deeper than just fandom. This is real life. This brother's talking about his impact on his life. That is just fantastic. And we appreciate you, Roll Tide, for being here and doing what you do every day, Nevada.
Yeah, I mean, wow. I mean, what a heavy post, man. You know, you
Yeah.
put that. Yeah, that's heavy stuff. Obviously, brings me back to when my dad died. You know, like you just that stuff you just never like you never forget. You know, just it brings back all the feelings, and yeah, it is what's one of the things that's special about college football. Um, is the fact that we can all come together around that stuff, and just we're just so happy that you found the channel that we could provide any little bit of peace to you during that
Yeah.
terrible time, and we're always here for you, man.
Yeah, man. Definitely a blessing. And the feeling is mutual for sure. We appreciate you. Gio did thanks for the 5. David Sanders will be a guard in the NFL if he makes it there. He would have never played tackle here. We didn't miss out on anything. Maybe so. You could be right. I don't know. He's still young. He has a chance to develop still and be really good. So we'll see. But either way, we're fine. I think Nevada, I think you nailed it. It's like this notion that, oh, because we missed out on him, we would have beat Miami or Indiana. If we got him, it's just garbage, Nevada.
He would have dominated Bane, man. I mean, he would have dominated. Bane would have been exposed. Bane probably wouldn't have been even been drafted or something like. I mean, yeah. Look, I mean, guys, those Miami defensive ends are really good. There's a
Really
reason
good.
why they both got taken in
Yeah.
the top 20 picks in the NFL draft. I mean, that's not an excuse, but that's just they were really good players. And the
Yeah.
idea that David Sanders was going to step in and solve the snap count issue, the play sequencing, all the faulty play design issue, and David Sanders was going to solve the problem. Yeah, no, that probably wasn't going to happen.
No. But fans gonna fan, right? I mean, it is what it is. And here is Roll Tide again. Thanks for the 5. B Moses, don't ever change your awesome people. Nevada knows football. The chat has a bunch of awesome people in it. Thanks for the love, everyone. Yeah, I won't change, man. I've been this guy for a long time. I will not change. Thank you for the encouragement and the vote of confidence, man. I appreciate it. You're a good dude. And Nevada does know his football. He's been around so long. He's been around like 100 years. Like how, how would he
I
not?
knew
I'm
you.
just, I'm
I
just
knew you were going to get an old. I knew it. I knew that was going to happen, man.
Thanks for the
Yeah.
alley oop, bro. Ty, but go ahead, Nevada.
Man, it's so true though. It's like when you've been around as long as I have, you got to. If you haven't picked up some football at this point in time,
Right,
then
right.
I mean, come on, I have to pick
It's
up
like, what are you doing?
something. Come on,
Right.
what are you doing? Come on.
Yep. Exactly. So there's that. Thanks for the opportunity to throw a nice little jab.
Yeah.
Bro, Stilly Matt. Gotta love those low IQ vote fans. STJ, we love you. We always gotta add a little qualifier like stick it to Tennessee, but let STJ know that we still love them. Like, it's like, look, it's not you, it's them. It's them. So yeah, Nevada.
Yeah, no, yeah, and I tell you, Tennessee fans, they are kind of a guilty pleasure of mine because they're just so hapless, like they want to be relevant so bad, and they're just not. You know what I'm saying? But they're cute. It's like a cute little orange dog running around yipping, yip 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 yip.
And I can just hear Will Howard talking to John Gruden. It's
Oh
like, man,
man.
when we saw that's when we knew we had him, right? And then they show the
Oh yeah.
highlights, bombs away to Jeremiah Smith. Oh, Tennessee fans, just such great memories. Shout out to Jim Jackson, man. Shout out to my guy Jim, terrorizing those Vols fans. All right, what we got here? Geodit, thanks for the 5. Shout out to my nephew who's taking me to the Ohio State Texas game in September. That's
Oh
dope.
wow.
That's one that I wanted to go to, and maybe I don't know, man. I might try to get on my Carmen San Diego this year and just travel as much as I can. But I don't know. Austin is a place I wanted to go to watch the Buckeyes, but congrats, man, because I know that's going to be great. I've heard great things about Austin. Have you been to Austin, Nevada?
I have, and the people are great, really good fans, very nice fans. Like it's like the opposite of going to Ann Arbor. Like you go to Ann Arbor and you take like your life in your hands. You know what I'm saying? It's the opposite down there. They invite you to the tailgates. They'll talk to you. I mean, they're great folks down there.
Yep, definitely heard good things about the city of all right. In Austin. So good stuff. Geodit, thanks for the 5. To me, 2 of the greatest running backs in Ohio State history that you hardly ever hear about are Keith Byers, agreed, and Robert Smith, agreed. Now, Robert Smith, he banged out early because of some issues with, academics versus there's some stories out there about the coaching staff not supporting him academically, so he wanted to leave, but he was really good. He was a tall, upright running back with shiftiness. I mean, Robert Smith was good, and obviously he was good with the Vikings. But yes, Keith Byers, the famous TD run that he kicks his shoe off. Absolutely. He was a hair away from winning the Heisman. Keith Byers was that dude, Nevada. I know you know.
Yeah, I mean, Keith Byers was one of my favorite players growing up. Man, loved everything about him. I just love that era of Ohio State football. The Robert Smith era was kind of complicated because we weren't good then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then they had that old Elliot Uzelac thing, and he's like, "I'm all about school," but then he left early to go to the NFL. What about school then? And with Robert, it was always complicated. But
Yeah.
was he a great player? Yeah, I mean, you're talking about a guy. I believe he won the 100-meter dash championship at in the Ohio high school that year.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just can't believe there are people that are that talented that can be like a track and field champion, be a great running back, be a doctor. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, Robert, save some talent for the rest of us. But he was an incredibly talented guy, and
Yeah.
yeah, Byers and Smith are definitely criminally underrated for sure.
Definitely. And Robert Smith has been one of the many, media guys that came out of Ohio State. Like that's one thing that's not talked about enough is Ohio State is media U. Are they not? Can anybody think of another school with more successful media guys? Not even just nationally, but even to me locally. Like we got talent like Tyvis Powell. I like Tyvis Powell. For example, even Beanie Wells is doing this thing. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Cardell Jones. That's just I think that's just fascinating. That's a whole nother subject. But good stuff. All right. Up next, we got Geo did again. Anybody who doesn't think Troy Smith isn't QB1 all time needs a CAT scan. Just saying. I like that. No, flat out. I mean, it's just true. It's true. And the fact Troy Smith was what? Nevada with cleats on, 6 foot with cleats.
Yeah, he wasn't a big guy. Yeah, he was not a big guy.
Right. But he was just spraying up and down the field. Just making plays. Man, look, man, come on. Troy to go. I don't want to hear nothing else. Anything else on that, Nevada?
No, just yeah. I like to think that was being just one of those posts because I can tell those posts are just being kind of trolly, just kind of thrown out there. No,
Yeah.
this was a real take. This was like a genuine take, which that's the thing that made it kind of crazy to me. But yeah, I don't get that at all.
Yeah, you still got time to delete that post, whoever posted that.
Arvosec.
Yeah, you still got time, bro. Joshua Dillon, thanks for the 20. With everything happening with Sorsby and the NCAA, what's stopping the cheaters up north from cheating again? Also, with Spiro's information about the LLC and quorum, might as well give up the info because the NCAA can't do nothing or won't. Okay. Loaded comment here. So I don't put nothing past the cheaters up north at all. So I'm sure they can try to concoct another way to cheat and, impact the actual play on the field. So that it's a valid question. And then as far as Spiro, when he was last on, we were trying to set the expectations that, this is a slow cook. He has to go through the process of FOIA and, this is an investigation for him. He's piecing things together. He's digging. He has to wait on information, a request, all that stuff. So to your point, me and Nevada have both said, hey, maybe we can do something behind the scenes to trigger, him to just say, screw it. I'm done. I'm burning my source. Boom. So I'm with you on that. Nevada, anything?
Well, yeah, I think look, there's a couple of different issues going on right now. The Sorsby thing with the NCAA. Obviously, Texas Tech is getting it from all directions right now, and I ultimately think they're gonna walk away from Sorsby. I think they have to because they're getting so much pressure right now.
Yeah.
Um, we talked about it last night on the show, but what's to stop somebody from getting? What's to stop Aaron Rodgers from coming back to college in 2 years?
Right.
Seriously,
I know you're serious, but come on.
I'm
That's
serious.
hilarious.
But I mean, like, there's no rules, right? Like, if you can't,
Right.
if you
Oh,
can't,
man.
if you can't declare somebody ineligible, whatever. But I look the Quorum LLC thing and Spirit, he's working it, man, and that guy is a pit bull. He'll drop it in time, and it's probably good that it's not dropping when there are no rules because you want to drop it when the NCAA's got some teeth, and the NCAA is only going to get teeth through some sort of congressional intervention. They need antitrust exemption.
Yep.
That has to happen. I hopefully this outrageous decision on Sorsby is the thing that pushes people over on both sides of the aisle to get together in terms of doing it because it's crazy train.
Yep. That's it. That's it. Period. And I think the public pressure and outcry will help in that regard. And you mentioned you took the words right out of Joshua's mouth. Thanks for the 5, Joshua Dillon. What's the point in following rules now when there is no teeth? Yeah. I mean, so the crazy hypotheticals of Brett Favre, name that movie. It's coming back to, the college or whatever. It's that's where we are. Crazy town. Okay. So good point. And before we move on, Nevada, can you name that movie I just quoted?
Something about Mary.
Yes. Ding, 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 ding. Great job. Great
Yeah,
job. That's another classic, by the way, guys.
that movie
Ben
is
Stiller.
so funny. That movie, I cried during that movie. That movie was so funny. I
Tears.
mean,
Real tears.
the Matt Dillon character, the just so unbelievable. I mean, yeah, everything about that movie is
Woogie.
completely inappropriate and so funny.
The scene with the dog and the lady with
Oh,
the oh man, that's a great
oh.
movie. Cameron Diaz was great. So yeah, there you go. All right, we got the great Barb Barrett. Thanks for the 5, Barb. I thank you for all the well wishes for Oliver Derby, Barrett Buckeye, and to follow up with the context. Thanks for the 5 for the other super chat. She says, "Mama going to nursing home. Ali to his new wonderful home tomorrow." So it looks like there's going to be a separation. And here is the dog
Oh.
Oliver. Yeah, very very cute, super cute. Love the Buckeye. Little handkerchief around the neck.
So he's got a good.
Ar-
Ollie's got a good. Ollie's got a good home.
Yep, yep. So
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
definitely heart goes out to you, Barb. Because listen, I've only had my dog for a year, and he's like a part of the household now. And so I can only imagine how you feel with this, but it does sound like he has a wonderful home, which is good. But our hearts definitely go out to you, Barb, for that for sure. So yeah, and thanks, Stilly, for still sending me the pic, man, so I can post it. I appreciate you, man. All right, all right. And last super chat here is from some dude, and it says, "Nothing fire about the USC fight song when you're there getting blasted by Pete and his boys." I'm assuming some dude, you were there in the Coliseum in '08. Ouch. Was that '08? Yeah, that was '08 when Beanie Wells' toe popped off his foot against Youngstown State the week before, and he couldn't play, and we got beat 35-3.
That was the game that
Right.
we ran the option play with Todd Beckman running the option instead of Terrell Pryor. We were alternating plays. Remember that?
That game was so forgettable. That is top 5 most forgettable games,
I
up
was
there
there,
with
B.
30 to
I,
nothing Clemson. And were you
I
there?
was I was there, and I was there at the USC game before that, which was the
Yeah.
Junior Seau game when Junior Seau just completely killed us. And so like so it had been a minute between the thing, but like
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen Ohio State win at the Coliseum. Yeah, I've seen them obviously win the Rose Bowl, but never. I don't think I've ever seen them win at the Coliseum. I have to think about that, but I don't think so.
Man. So no, I can't think of it because it just doesn't. It hasn't happened. Like they haven't played.
You know when I've seen Ohio State win at the Coliseum, and this is so obscure, but it was
What's
when
that?
we played UCLA, and and Schleicher was the quarterback, and Doug Donnelly was wide
Oh,
receiver, and we came back last second drive and beat them, and that UCLA used to play their home games in the Coliseum.
wow. Okay. So technically,
I
you've seen
technically,
Ohio State win
technically
in the Coliseum.
I'm pretty sure that was the Coliseum. Maybe it was Rose. No, that was the Coliseum. 100% that was the Coliseum.
Okay. Well, hopefully we'll see them win in the Coliseum because yeah, bro, that at USC game, I remember that was just a disaster. And that USC team with Pete Carroll, I mean, they were obviously great back then. They were loaded, and Beanie Wells, our guy, did not play. And so, am I saying we would have won? I'm not saying that. I'm saying with Tressel offenses, unfortunately, just like in the championship game, Ted Ginn going down just unraveled everything.
Well, what if David Sanders had played? Would we have won?
Sanders. That's right. If we would have
Yeah.
David Sanders, baby.
If we'd had David Sanders, man, we'd have won. We'd have won that game. Darn
Right. Oh, Pete Carroll would have been just confounded by David Sanders.
Oh God.
Yeah, exactly. Stilly Matt, another super chat came in. Thank you, B Moses. You're so awesome, brother. Thank you. You are awesome, brother. We appreciate you, man, for sure. So yeah, that is it for the super chats. Like you said, Nevada hodgepodge show, but we definitely wanted to start out with the DGG stuff because that's really what's happening right now. It's going to be DGG Palooza. He has 2 more visits coming up. We're going to hear it from the fan bases. We're going to see all the click farming from the websites trying to get you to get a subscription by just saying stuff that doesn't really mean anything. Come on home to Columbus, DGG. Any last words, Nevada, before we hop off?
Yeah. Now, DGG, do the right thing. We know you want to do the right thing. We know you're gonna do the right thing, and everything else is just noise.
Yep, just noise. Come on home. And that emotional connection that you have with Lock, you cannot say no to Carlos LOCKLYN. Okay, you just can't. So he'll be a Buckeye. I'm very confident in that. But anyway, is Dev going tonight? I forgot to text him. I don't know, but keep a lookout. I don't know if you knew this. Is he going, Nevada?
I don't know the answer to that question. I do know that
Okay.
David Sanders is the greatest football player of all time. I do not know if Devin is
Ever,
going tonight. Ever,
ever. And
ever,
the fact
ever.
that we missed out on David Sanders totally
Oh,
overrides 42-17 in the shoe.
oh,
We're even.
terrible.
We're basically even now.
Nah, I'm behind. Behind.
Behind even. Tennessee Vol logic. But anyway, on that note, we love you, Buckeye School family, Buckeye Nation. Until next time, go Bucks and peace.